Tamagotchi having real problems with this core breaker Toxicroak. We fire off the Leaf Blade. The opponent invests that Protect Shield. They want to get that Toxicroak aligned with our Sandslash Tamagotchi. Shields up a potential Sludge Bomb and we get baited. This is brutal. Tamagotchi fires off Leaf Blade. Number 2, the opponent invests that final Protect Shield. We see the Wham Bam combo play. Pivot out into Sandslash. We settle for an Ice Punch, but is Ice Punch enough to knock out? Well, you're going to have to watch the video to find out. So welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a look at a battle submission from Mr. Tamagotchi, a fellow content creator. Go check him out. He was able to hit Legend using a really unique non-XL core. On screen, you can see Virizion and Alolan Muk have great coverage on the top meta threats in the Ultra League. Some huge core breakers will be stuff like Gliscor, the Dragons and Pidgeot, so we're opting for an Alolan Sandslash in the lead. However, if you want to run a fully non-XL team, I think both Walrien and Lapras operate perfectly in that position. Speaking of non-XL, I've also had a battle submission with a fully non-XL team in the Open Ultra League, which I'll look to get out in the next couple of days. I love this game because of the community spirit. I'd like to say firstly, thank you for all the recent support. And secondly, if you want to get involved in that community spirit, my Discord has been popping off recently. It's linked down below. Come check us out. We do multiple live streams every day. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we pick up a great lead. Alolan Sandslash into Dragonite. The opponent save switches into the most common save switch of them all, Jellicent. And my god, do we have some response. The non-shadow variant of Alolan Muk can actually tank 3 Surfs, which you're about to see here. Tamagotchi instantly clicks no shield, knowing he survives, then throws 1 poison jab and the Dark Pulse for optimal fast move timing. Dark Pulse secures the knockout, so we've maintained alignment and shield parity. We're now back in this ever annoying match. Despite us having a favourable typing advantage here, Superpower will be vanquishing us back to our Pokeball. We draw a shield with the Ice Punch. The opponent easily has enough for a Superpower and Tamagotchi respects it. The opponent, like a savage, masturbate. However, Tamagotchi, undeterred, fires off Ice Punch number 2 and the opponent is now all shields down. Tamagotchi thinking about calling a bait and last second he commits the shield. The opponent then pivot out looking to catch an Ice Punch onto the Skunk Tank. Tamagotchi says, not today trainer. We land the Drill Rom. We look to pivot out, catching the Crunch onto Virizion. The opponent shows great discipline, not throwing. We're going to eat the Flamethrower, but Virizion, despite being non-XL, super tick. We farm up to the back-to-back charge moves. This Sacred Sword will be vanquishing Skunk Tank. Back to their Pokeball, back out comes Dragonite. This Sacred Sword is resistive, it gets them so low. The opponent commits to the Dragon Breath farm down. We reach the Ice Punch and Tamagotchi is off to a very impressive 1-0 start. GG's and thanks for playing. No amount of baiting able to save that opponent. Guys, don't masturbate. Every time you bait, a poor defenseless cat dies. Moving on to the next battle. Speaking of baiting, we definitely find ourselves in a very bait dependent matchup. Tamagotchi farms up, fires off the Ice Punch and the opponent makes a very nice catch, catching the Ice Punch onto the Walrus. However, Walrus is about to be met with the wrath of Virizion. Virizion pretty decent in this matchup because we do actually outpace this Walrien to the charge move. It only takes us 9 turns to each Leaf Blade, whereas the opponent takes 10. We fire off the Leaf Blade, the opponent no shields, we then fire off Leaf Blade. Number 2, the opponent just sacks the Walrus. Tamagotchi has got switch advantage, however Charizard now gets a huge wing attack farm down and this thing is going to be lethal. We're unable to return. With Sandslash we opt to send out Alolan Muk. Tamagotchi correctly shields up a Blast Burn, but this Charizard so far ahead in energy, already at Blast Burn number 2. Tamagotchi now all shields down. Tamagotchi now going to return fire with the Dark Pulse. The opponent most likely will shield, which they do because guess what, Charizard at Blast Burn number 3. Muk pretty thick, we do survive. However, the opponent's got Obstagoon in the back and that is going to be game over. We fire off the Acid Spray, which does absolutely nothing, and then we concede the match. Tamagotchi's opponent there beautifully displaying how to use an ABB team. They say switch into Walrein, looking to draw out any fighting type, which they did, and then the second thing weak to fighting swept our backline. Moving on to the next one. Hopefully we aren't going to experience deja vu as we led Sandslash into a flyer. The opponent safe switched into Dubwall, obviously weak to fighting. We answer with Virizion. It's the battle of the double kick users. Virizion going to be beating this go into Oblivion. Tamagotchi nicely throws on the CMP tie. We again maintain alignment. Not only has Tamagotchi maintained alignment, he's left minimal farm for Gliscor. We're double weak to flying, so only a few wing attacks. We'll delete as we fire off the neutral leaf blade for some chip damage. The opponent gets minimal farm. We send out Sandslash. The opponent's got the big jellyfish in the back, and that is going to be check and mate. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see that big thick boy Shadow Snorlax in the lead. The opponent going to be able to reach a superpower in 15 turns. So I like this play. Tamagotchi's thrown 7, which is 14 turns. Throw the Drill on, we then see the instant pivot into Alolan Muk, anticipating the opponent spamming out the superpower. The opponent shows great discipline, not spamming it out. They chip us with a body slam and then send out Milk Tank. Normal in the front, normal in the back. A very interesting team, especially as we've recently had Poliwrath Community Day. Tamagotchi knows he survives the body slam. He then throws 3 poison jabs, perhaps attempting to CMP tie this cow. The cow doesn't throw on CMP, they get a whole free rollout. The opponent, though, going to be unable to roll out, farm us down. They throw the body slam, securing the knockout. Tamagotchi now sends out Virizion, looking to get ahead in energy. The opponent makes one final body slam, and my god, does Milk Tank have an absolutely pathetic damage output. As if I wasn't already bamboozled by this opponent's team comp, they had normal in the front, normal on the safe switch, they return with Shadow Snorlax into a loaded Virizion. The opponent now also invests in shields. I've got a sneaky suspicion this is going to be a mono, normal type team, as the opponent's already legend, they're probably looking to have fun. However, it's not going to be too fun for the opponent when they see a Virizion. The opponent all shields down, they bring out normal type, number 3. And this Virizion is absolutely feasting. We land the Sacred Sword. We're still outside of body slam range. The opponent doing their very best to take care of Virizion, but Virizion far too tick. We withstand the damage. Fire off the Sacred Sword. Dodwall gets deleted. We pivot out into Sandslash, make the Ice Punch on the CMP tie. And Ice Punch is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. My gosh, triple normal. I guess you just top left if you see a Shadow Fighter. In the next battle, we pick up a great lead, Shadow Alolan Sandslash into Dragonite. The opponent safe switches into Jellicent, and Tamagotchi shows cat-like reflexes, super quick in his response into Alolan Muk. Our big pile of gunk, pretty dominant in this matchup. We resist the hexes and can absorb 3 surfs. We throw 1 poison jab and the Dark Pulse. Tamagotchi easily survives this surf, and another one if he needs to. Let's see how Tamagotchi plays this one out. We farm up, over farm, fire off the next Dark Pulse on the CMP side. Very nice counting from Tamagotchi. Dark Pulse secures the knockout. The opponent sends back out Dragonite, looking for their Dragon Breath farm down. Alolan Muk still not done. Rudely sprays this Dragonite in the face, lowering their defense. The opponent does get the Dragon Breath farm down. The opponent has enough for a superpower. Do we get baited again? Yes, we do. Holy crap, Dragonite users love to bait. However, the opponent's got Alolan Sandslash in the back. We show him Virizion. The opponent throws on alignment. We sneak the double kick. Tamagotchi throws 1 double kick and the Sacred Sword for optimal fast move timing, unlike the opponent. Back out comes Dragonite with 2 Protect Shields, 2 high behind, but however they've got hardly any HP. They're now going to be forced to start shielding up. Resisted charge moves. The opponent's counting absolutely immaculate. They throw the Dragon Claw on the CMP tie, saving 1 shield. However, they're so low. It's going to be a Shadow Claw beat down to the finish, and the opponent concedes the match. Tamagotchi gets himself a nice 4-1 in set number 1, and we end at a brutal 2993 elo. So Tamagotchi now going to have to hold his nerve in the very sweaty battles that we're about to endure. In the next game, we see Swampert in the lead. Sandslash doesn't have the type advantage here. However, this is a pretty neutral matchup. We land the drill run. The opponent farms up to what could be an Earthquake. Tamagotchi says, I dare you to Earthquake me, trainer. The opponent goes for the Hydro Cannon. They're then forced to throw the next Hydro Cannon on the CMP side. We do soft lose lead, however, Virizion can come in, get ahead in energy with a nice 2 double kick advantage. The opponent sends out Charizard. They've got the Walrien in the back, and this is going to be tricky. Tamagotchi not baiting, full sending the Dark Pulse. Walrien shows no respect, and they get rock deep into the yellow. This big fat walrus farms up to 12, easily enough for an Earthquake. We think about calling it last second, commit a Protect Shield. The savage of a gatekeeping opponent master baits us. We get baited once again. However, the second time I believe they only had 64 energy. Walrien gonna land the spear. The only win con for Tamagotchi at this stage is landing the Dark Pulse. The opponent with 2 Protect Shields remaining. We go for the bait. And no, this savage of a gatekeeper calls it. And that is gonna be game over. We do draw a shield with the next Acid Spray. We switch out into Virizion, looking to get off the Sacred Sword. However, the opponent anticipates us switching, throw the Blast Burn on the CMP tie, vanquish us back to our Pokeball. And I think we've all learned a very valuable lesson there. You've got to play to your win con. throw the big move, even if the opponent has 2 shields. Moving on to the next one. Great lead. Sandslash into Pidgeot, the opponent safe switches into the big thick mythical known as D to the motherfucking D, but we've got a great response in the form of our Alolan Muk. We easily tank the rock slide return fire with the Dark Pulse, and the opponent doesn't tank that anywhere near as easily as it hits for heavy super effective damage. The opponent throws one more rock slide, Muk now deep in the red but going straight for another Dark Pulse. The opponent lets it go. Again, we maintain alignment. The annoying pigeon is going to get a nice farm down, however this energy is going to be pretty useless against Sandslash. Muk actually still not done, makes a very rude acid spray. The opponent doesn't shield and they've got Toxcroak in the back. Holy crap, what a core breaker. Everything in Virizion's arsenal is resisted due to Toxcroak's fighting, poison typing, and this Toxcroak could run through the remainder of our team. We correctly shield up a Sludge Bomb. Toxicroak, not the bulkiest though, so we might be forcing Protect Shields with the Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade, a very good move. 2.0 DP, one of the best moves in the game. We now shield up another potential Sludge Bomb. The opponent rudely baits us with a Mud Bomb. However, Tamagotchi, undeterred, fires off the next Leaf Blade, forcing the final protection. We go for the Wham Bam combo play. Do we serve up the Big Mac and the fries? Yes, we do. Ice Punch secures the knockout. Pidgeot is going to return. However, we are just about thick enough to survive the Brave Bird. We've got the Ice Punch banked. It's locked, it's loaded, and Tamagotchi wins an incredibly close game. GG's. 2-1 in the set, and we survive a very, very big scare. Moving on to the next battle. We see Tapu Fini in the lead, 2 better responses in the back. We pivot out into Alolan Muk, and we draw out the big tin can Registeel, Sir Reginald himself. Not the best matchup for our Poison Jab pile of gunk, as in theory Steel should be immune to poison. Well, at least it is in the main series game, but Pokemon Go says fuck immunity, we're just going to give it a resistance. We return via one more Dark Pulse, getting Reginald into the yellow. The tin can farms up to what I believe to be 100 energy. If they're at 100 energy, they're actually going to outpace to a Focus Blast on the Sandslash. They was at 100, as they do outpace by a singular turn, and we're forced to respect the Focus Blast. Tamagotchi now over farms heavily, farms up, fires off the Drill Run. Drill Run will be securing the knockout. The opponent takes shield advantage, Reginald being a real fucking pest. Back out comes Tapu Fini. We fire off the Drill Run. We then pivot out into Virizion, and no, the opponent's got Gliscor in the back. This is going to get real tricky. We fire off the Leaf Blade, which does land for neutral damage. The wing attacks are double super effective, however all charge moves are resisted. We tank the Night Slash, throw one double kick and the Leaf Blade, or at least attempt to. However, this is only a Night Slash. We do survive, we do make the Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade probably goes unshielded. The opponent probably going to save 2 shields for their Fini. The opponent then gets the wing attack farm down. We send in Sandslash. This is only a Night Slash. We can easily survive. No, Tamagotchi, you're feeling them legend nerves. We commit a terrible shield. However, even if we had a shield, this is probably still a loss. However, it would have been a lot closer. The opponent, like an absolute savage, fire off the BM Moonblast. Sandslash fires off the Drill Run. We're not going to be able to make 2 more, and the opponent water guns us down. Ouch. We're now 1-2 in the set. Tamagotchi needs to win the next 2 battles to get that legend. Great lead. Come on, Tamagotchi. You've got this, buddy. Great lead. Sandslash into Tentacruel. Tamagotchi going straight for the Drill Run, which commands a Protect Shield. However, in return, we don't need to shield a Scald. It only does around 45% of our HP. We tank the Scald. Tamagotchi then goes straight for the next Drill Run, and the opponent makes a great catch, catching the Drill Run onto Obstagoon. But my god, Goon, do we have some response for you? We send out Virizion, which is hitting Obstagoon's Dark Normal typing for double super effective with the double kicks. The opponent does us a huge favour, not building up to a Hyper Beam or a Gunk Shot, and they actually throw an alignment as well, giving us a full free double kick. Tamagotchi easily absorbs the next cross chop. We leave absolutely loaded. Back out comes Tentacruel, and we're going to start ripping off neutral Leaf Blades. The first one lands, the second one is locked, it's loaded, that also lands. We're now 1 double kick away from the third. Virizion, what a spammy little pest it is. The third Leaf Blade draws a protection. We see the aggressive pivot into Alolan Muk. Tamagotchi, thinking about calling an Acid Spray, last second commits a shield. He then farms up, throws the Dark Pulse on the CMP tie. Tentacruel just goes down. What is that final Pokemon? They've got Scrafty. Alolan Muk going to be kind of nuked from this matchup. The opponent's going to be ramping up their attack with the Power Up Punch, and we're going to be debuffing their defense with the Poison Jab and Acid Spray combination. Tamagotchi still with 1 Protect Shield, 2 hide behind, and I think we're going to be forced to shield up a power-up punch. We do invest our shield here. We then pivot out into Virizion. Virizion gets farmed down. Back out. Comes Muk. We go straight for the Acid Spray. I think we should have committed to the Dark Pulse. It would do more damage. Acid Spray doesn't KO. The opponent going to fire off the power-up punch. We need to not get countered down as if Scrafty leaves with a move. The boosted power-up punch would obliterate our Sandslash. However, we Poison Jab farm down and take that game. 2-2 in the set. We need this battle to obtain Legend. We play a fellow expert very close to Legend. You know this battle is going to be sweaty. Good lead. Sandslash can hit Auroras for super effective. With the Drill Run, the opponent can hit back for heavy neutral damage. With the Meteor Beam, the opponent goes for the double resisted bait. What the fuck? The opponent realises that's a huge misplay and then just concede the match. Tamagotchi gets his 3-2. 3-2 going to be more than enough to obtain 7 points, and he hits Legend for yet another season. Huge congrats to Mr. Tamagotchi. He always puts out incredible content. Make sure you go check him out. He's linked in the title. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you'd like your battles featured on the channel, link to the battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.